Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a fun makeup tutorial. I'm not too sure where we're going to go with this. I'm kind of picturing something smoky, maybe smoky and purple, but we'll see where we go. I'm really excited to sit down here. I've got a ton of unused brand new things that I've hauled in my last few videos. So I want to get creative. I want to do something dramatic. So we'll see where this takes us. You might also notice that I've got some foundation and powder and concealer on, and that's because we're doing a first impression on this foundation right here. It should be up already, so I'll link it in the eye above here if you guys are curious to see. This is the Tarte FOUNDCEALER Multitasking Foundation. So far, so good. It's still early days, but if you're curious to see how this makeup look turns out, then just continue watching. Okay, so starting off with the cheeks, I've already started to play with this palette right here. This is the Tarte Tarteist contour palette, and it's the first original one. I mean, look at this packaging. It is so pretty. It's kind of got this foiled gold kind of texture on the front. It's got Tarteist written in purple, and then the back is this kind of shiny reflective packaging, which I won't show you in case I blind you, but the inside is really nice. It's got this massive mirror. As you can see, I've already started to play with this color right here, which is what I use to set my whole entire face and my under eyes. But as you can see in this palette, we've also got a bronzer, a contour, a blush, what I think is maybe a brightener shade, or it might be a highlight, and then a true kind of champagne highlight up the top here. So I'm excited to continue to play with this one. I think let's start by contouring. Okay, so starting off in the palette, I'm going to grab the contour shade. I've actually just noticed it smells so good. It smells kind of like chocolate cocoa. I mean, all the Tarte products smell that way, but really, I mean, now that it's up close to my face, I can really smell it now. But I'm going to start off with this brush right here, which is the Real Techniques 403 Rebel Edge Medium Brush. I've been really enjoying this one for a really sharp contour. So I'm going to tap into this color right here down the bottom. And I'm going to go right ahead and start contouring out my cheekbone. I'm also going to start contouring my forehead, my nose, and my jawline. Next, moving back into the palette, I'm going to grab the bronzy shade right here with the Real Techniques cheek brush. And I'm going to start to warm up the skin. So next, moving on to highlight, it says that this one right here is the highlight shade. This one doesn't have a name, but the highlight shade in this I actually think is more of a brightening powder. And then I think this center one actually might be the proper highlight, because as you can see, this one's quite reflective. This one's definitely a little bit more matte. So I think what I'm going to do is actually, I might try a little bit of both. So I'm going to take the Zoeva 110 brush that I used underneath the eye, and I'm going to tap into the highlight shade. And I'm actually going to start trying to brighten this inner corner of my eye, and I want to see what that does. Yeah, I think that is actually definitely meant to be more of a brightening shade than a true highlight. And then to apply the highlight in the center, I'm going to take the Real Techniques angled highlighter brush, which looks like this, tap straight into the highlight. And I'm going to start highlighting the top of my cheekbone. As you can see, it's kind of got this kind of silvery white base, and it's kind of gripping on a little bit weird right here. I'm not too sure why, but I would say if anything, the highlight in this palette is so far the only thing I'm passing on. It's also not very shiny as well, so you can see I'm really having to layer it up. And then lastly, to try out the blush, I'm going to take the Zoeva 135 Petite Face Definer. This is from the Opulence collection. So I'm going to take that straight into the blush. And I'm going to start applying that to the top of my cheek, kind of into the temple as well. Yeah, that blush is really, really pretty. I kind of like this kind of muted mauvey pinky tone. It's really flattering. So here's how that complexion is looking. It is really, really pretty. I love that blush. I think the only thing that's a bit of a letdown is the highlight. I do think the highlight is a little bit pointless in the palette, to be honest. But I feel like if anything, if they had just made the highlight a little bit more champagne, or even a little bit more pinky and just a little bit more reflective, it would have been a little bit better. But honestly, that's one dud out of 6 different products. So I think it's definitely worth it. If you haven't already picked it up, maybe it might be worth a go. Okay, so I've gone right ahead and I zoomed you guys in so we can start on the eyes. But for our inspiration today, I have been wanting to try a similar technique to this look right here. This was actually posted in May 2020, so I've been looking at this one for quite a while now. This is posted by Dafine Neziri, Dafine Neziri. This eye kind of technique is so pretty. It's kind of like a cut crease, but as you can see, it's not all the way out. It's kind of heading towards the temple, almost kind of the end of the brow. But I mean, look at her work. She is honestly unreal. But if you haven't seen her work, I'll show you a few more posts. This look here as well is definitely one of my favorites. I mean, look at that wing liner. It is beyond perfect. Oh my goodness, and you guys, this look right here is one of my absolute favorites she's ever done. I mean, one, her model is not human. She is a living Bratz doll. Secondly, the makeup is so glowy and fresh. And three, her eyes, oh my gosh, one of my absolute favorite looks. And there's one more that I really want to show you guys. This look right here, you guys, I mean, just take a second and acknowledge the fact that one, stunning model, two, perfect hair, three, wing liner, fox eye, cat eye, great glowy skin. I am obsessed with her work and I highly suggest if you don't follow her already, she is one of my absolute favorite makeup artists. She creates videos. I mean, even look at that. She plays with color quite a lot. I feel like her, Nikki Makeup, Hindash, I've got so many different inspirations that I feel like, not even like a particular look, but just the essence. I feel like the essence of the makeup looks, I mean, oh my gosh, look. Stunning. So for eyeshadow, I wanted to play with this palette right here. This is the Dose of Colors Eyescream palette. I've had it in my collection for a little while and haven't had the chance to play with it, but it is so pretty. I mean, look at the slip and then the palette. You guys just wait. Look how cute that is. It is literally a full palette inspired by Eyescream. So I don't know if they still sell this one anymore, but I'm pretty sure you could find some single shadows and these kind of pops of colors. There's a bunch of different pastels and neutrals in here. So you can see it is really, really pretty. I'm kind of inspired by this color right here called Lavender Honey. It is this really beautiful kind of neutrally lavender pastel color. So I think we'll go on with this one first. So to apply that, I'm going to start off with this brush right here. This is the Real Techniques Base Shadow Brush. So I'm going to tap into this shade here called Lavender Honey. And I'm going to start right here in the center of my crease. So I'm really taking my time and I'm just building up that color. Next, I'm going to grab this palette right here. This is the Tarteist Pro Amazonian Clay palette. So here's what the palette looks like. As you can see, it's that soft touch matte black packaging with Tarteist Pro written in gold. And then here is what the inside of the palette looks like. So you can see it's once again that really reflective shiny gold packaging. There's 4 shimmers right here in the circular pans, and then I'm pretty sure the rest are all mattes. So you can see there's a ton of kind of neutral tones, some cooler tones, kind of like a raspberry red. There's some burgundies, there's an orange. There's quite a few different selections in here. So I think this one looks quite promising. So I think I'm going to start off with this shadow right here, which is that kind of hot raspberry color. It's called Mod. So I'm going to take that shadow on this brush right here. This is a Real Techniques shading brush. As you can see, it's a really dense, short shadow brush. So I'm tapping into the shade Mod. And I'm going to bring that a little bit lower than the lavender. And then since I've lost a little bit of that lavender color, I'm taking that same first brush into that same first shadow called Lavender Honey. And I'm going to blend it up a little bit higher. So seeing as I can't seem to get those 2 shadows to blend in the way that I want them to, I'm actually going to reach into a third palette. This is the GEMMA Isabella Cosmetics Laverna eyeshadow palette. Taking a different base shadow brush from Real Techniques, I'm going to tap into this shadow here called Dare. I'm just going to blend that shadow in between the 2 colors to hopefully get it to blend a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's much better. Just because it kind of helps it blend a little bit more. I think maybe because, as you can already see, this is a little bit smoother of a shadow than the Tarte one. I think the Tarte one's a little bit patchy. It's a similar color. I mean, not in the pan, but definitely on the eye, it's a similar color. So I think this is just going to help it blend. So moving back into the Tarteist palette, I'm going to grab this color right here. As you can see, it's kind of like a slightly deeper maroon. This one is called Drama. So to apply that, I'm going to grab my Zoeva 223 Petite Eye Blender, and I'm taking that shadow here called Drama. And I'm going to start popping that deeper into the crease. And then because I want it to be really, really dark and smoky, I'm going to take my Real Techniques accent brush into this shadow here called Vamp. I'm going to take this into the deepest part of the crease. So I've just taken a little cotton bud and popped some micellar water in it, and I'm going to start just kind of cleaning up where I'm going to cut my crease. I find that this little tip is something that I've kind of been practicing with just to try and get my cut creases as sharp as I can possibly make them, especially when I'm working with darker colors like purples or blacks or blues. Yeah, I mean, look already at the difference between this eye and this eye. Do you see how much sharper and crisper and cleaner this eye is? And it kind of helps me map out the shape as well as kind of correcting and just cleaning. I feel like, especially because for some reason when I put too much concealer around my inner corner, A, it creases a lot, and B, it makes my eyes really agitated and it kind of tears and waters and gets all red. So I've been trying this technique just to kind of minimize the amount of product that I pop on the inner corner, and then ever since then I've just kind of started to kind of trace out the crease, and it's really been helping. So I recommend, if you haven't tried that technique, give it a go. And then all I do is I take the same concealer that I initially used to prime my lids, and I take that on the back of my hand. And then taking a flat concealer brush, this is the Dose of Colors concealer brush, I'm taking that straight into the concealer. And then I'm going to start kind of cleaning up that cut crease. So you can see it makes a huge difference, just that cleaning up process. I feel like because I don't have already set concealer on my lid, when I go to cut my crease, it gives me so much more working time. It blends so much easier. It doesn't feel super heavy. So as I said, if you haven't tried that tip and you like cut crease looks, give it a go. I think it'll really help. So next, to set the lid, I'm going to go back into the Dose of Colors Eyescream palette with the Real Techniques detail brush and tap into this first shadow called Berries and Cream. And I'm going to start setting my cut crease. So just like the inspo photo, I want to do a bit of a smoky wing. So I'm going back into the Tarte palette and I'm starting off with Vamp on the Real Techniques eyeliner brush. And I'm going to start on my wing. Next, taking that same pencil brush I used earlier, the Zoeva 223 Petite Eye Blender, I'm going to go back into that lavender color. And I'm going to start smoking the wing out. And then lastly, for the top lash line, I'm taking that same combo, so the Real Techniques base shadow brush and the shade Dare, really lightly. Once again, I'm going to really lightly smoke it out. So moving on to the lower lash line, I want to keep it really, really simple because the top is so complicated. So I'm going to go back into the Dose of Colors Eyescream palette, and I'm going to grab the shade Cone on the Dose of Colors pencil brush. And I'm really gently going to pop that underneath. So looking at the eyes, I want to add a tiny little bit of liquid liner. This is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Precision Longwear Liner in the shade Black. So here's what it looks like. I really enjoy the packaging on this. I think it is really, really pretty. It is a felt tip. It's definitely a matte black liner. There's no shine whatsoever. Yeah, see what I mean? It just elevates the look just a little bit more, just to kind of help ground those lashes. I think it is really, really pretty. So next, moving on to mascara, I wanted to use the one that comes in this set right here. This is the Tarte Dash of Lash eye set, and I've actually used 3 out of the 4 things in this set. The only thing I haven't tried out is the mascara, which is the Tarte Tarteist mascara. Seeing as we've already tried all the Tarteist items in this video, I thought it'd be only fitting to use the mascara as well. I'm also going to use the eyelash glue in this video, but I'm going to use a different set of lashes, only because I've worn these in my videos 2 or 3 times and I want to give you another option. And then the last thing in here is the kitten liner, which I've already used and I really enjoy. So let's go right ahead and do a couple of coats of mascara. This packaging is so cute. I actually love the kind of paint splatter on the cap. I think that is really pretty. And then the wand is actually a really kind of chunky, almost mace-like baton. It's really, really spiky. It's got kind of longer and shorter spikes, and it looks like it'll be quite a thick formula. So we'll give her a go. You can definitely tell this mascara gives some really good length and separation. I feel like it's building up quite quickly, and it's definitely nice that you can comb through the lashes. However, it is that kind of spiky plastic wand, and I can feel it on my lash line. Like, I think if I make one wrong move, I could stab myself in the eye and it would go from pretty to messy in one swift move. However, I do like that it's building length and volume. Not necessarily a lot of thickness, but definitely some length. So before I put on my lashes, I want to fill in my brows. So for brow products, I've got these 2 right here. The first one is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder in the shade Rich Brown. And the brow gel is the Tarte Tarteist Brow Gel in the shade Clear. So let's go right ahead and fill in my brows. So because I've been enjoying that fluffy brow trend, I want to go in with a brow gel first. Once again, this is the Tarte Tarteist Brow Gel in the shade Clear. So this is what it looks like. It actually comes in near identical packaging to the lash glue. I feel like they're quite cute because they're matchy-matchy, but I feel like if you weren't paying that much attention, you could either get lash glue in your brows or brow gel in your lashes. So I'm going to go right ahead and try to fluff up my brows using this. Oh, I like the wand. It is a teensy, tiny, itsy bitsy wand. So let's try to fluff up my brows. So I normally try to back comb, and then I just brush them into place. And then I'm going to take the brow powder, which looks like this. I love the kind of imprint that has. Once again, this is the Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder in the shade Rich Brown. So I'm going to take that on the Dose of Colors Winged Liner brush, which looks like this. It's got a little spoolie on the end. So I'm going to go back and forth in that powder. And I'm going to try to get a few hair-like strokes in. So for lashes, I picked out these set of lashes. These are the GEMMA Isabella Cosmetics Boss Babe lashes. These were so pretty. I'm so sad that she doesn't sell them anymore, but I'm hoping that maybe I'll get my hands on her new sets of lashes and we'll do another haul pretty soon. I've already picked up some liquid lipsticks and some lip glosses, so I'm just waiting for those lashes to come back in stock and I will do another haul for you guys. But these are really pretty. As you can see, they go from shorter to longer. Similar in the shape as my eye does. It's kind of elevated and lifted, so I think they'll be quite complimentary. Oh yeah, these will be really pretty. They're definitely very extra, very bold. I think I'm going to have to trim off quite a bit because I've got quite a short lash band, but they're very pretty. So for glue, as I mentioned, I'm going to use this one out of the set. This is one of my favorite things to do, so let's do a before and after. So here's the eyes before. And then here are the eyes after with lashes on. So you can see they're so full, so voluminous, so wispy, so soft, so fluffy. They are so, so, so gorgeous. I also love that there's lots of gaps in between the lashes so you can really see the eyeshadow peeking through. I find when they're too full all the way through, there's almost no point in doing eyeshadows. So these are really perfect and I'm so excited to be able to play with them now. So I zoomed you guys out so we can start on the lips. So for lip liner, I have a ton of these Dose of Colors lip liners that I still haven't used yet. So I'm thinking I might use this one in the shade Escape. It's kind of like a peachy tone nude. So I'm going to start lining my lips, and I always kind of overfill my Cupid's bow. And then I'm slightly filling the edges. So for lip color, I want to try out this color right here. This is the Dose of Colors Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Catching Feelings. I did a lip swatch video of almost all of my liquid lipsticks from Dose of Colors, so I'll link her up in the eye for you guys to watch later on. But I did end up purchasing a few after that, so they're not in that video, but this is one of the ones that I didn't swatch, so I'm excited to try it out. So this is what the color looks like. As you can see, it is a really pretty peachy beigey nude, so I'm going to go right ahead and apply that. And then to lock everything in, I'm going to go in with my Tarte Stay Spray Setting Spray. So yeah guys, this is the finished makeup look today. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comments. I am so happy with the finished result. I love this new lifted cut crease shape. I am so in love with the inspiration pic, and my interpretation of it is a little bit more dramatic and a little bit more graphic, whereas hers was much more pretty and I'm a model and life is great. I am like fake it till you make it. So let me know what you think of the finished result, and if you haven't followed her already, you totally should, because I mean, what are you doing here? She is incredible. So anyways, let me know what you guys want to see. If you did enjoy this video, then you guys know what to do. Please feel free to leave me a like, comment and leave any requests that you have down below in the comment bar. Subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell and drag it all the way down to all to become a part of this family and be notified of all my future videos. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys. Keeps greasing. This look here as well is another one of my favorites. I mean, look at her. It is, whoops. Oh, you guys, I can't even hold it in one hand. Into the Lavender Honey shade from the palette. Ooh. Ah, it's slipping. Okay, how do I do this? Kind of like this horizontal line. Wow. So loud. So random. I want to just add a tiny little bit. No.